To video chicken demo. I don't know. I think we've gotten it so well now that we can almost call it the first official video chicken show. Coming to you live. I am sitting in Okeechobee, Florida, and it is noon. So real quick before I go any further, if you're watching this video and it's not Sunday afternoon at noon, you're watching a recorded version. But even so, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. But right now we are live, and what I wanted to do is do another test run as if we're doing a show, and that's pretty much what we're about to do, and see how many viewers there are this time of day on Sunday. We really, in the past couple episodes, we asked for some suggestions on when we should do the show, because obviously we want to make sure we pick the time slot that most people are going to be available, not just to listen, but now to sit down and watch us, and of course to be able to interact. And a lot of people have mentioned Sunday. The last time we did it on Sunday was Sunday morning, and I didn't want to do this during church time. I thought it was a good idea, and my co-host Kristen also agreed. It was actually her suggestion that we do it after church, so we're going to do it at noon. I'm hoping to just really see how many people are out there. And please, if you're listening, watching, give us and actually we just got away from Janelle. Hi, Janelle. Let us know you're out there. Let us know how it sounds working. Again, we're trying to do everything we can to perfect this for you guys so that we can start rolling it back into a weekly show. Now, something really fun that's going to happen here in a little bit is you guys, I don't think, have met Kristen, our chicken expert on the Video Chicken. If you've listened to us at Radio Chicken, you've heard her. And if you've been following us for a while on our videos, you have seen her. She's actually currently setting up her green screen. So I can't wait to finally be able to bring her in, and we're going to do a couple video things. So this is really another practice run for me. But in order for me to practice, I need to hear from you guys. If you have any questions, suggestions, comments, either about the show, the quality, the backdrop, ideas, and or if you want to come on. One of the things I was hoping to figure out, and if we could figure it out today, that'd be great, is how I can incorporate a link right here somewhere in the screen so that you can just click on that, and that will allow me to basically answer your call, if you will. Right now, if you do want to come on, you have a question, especially if you wanted to show us maybe a problem you're having with your chicken coop, a question about it. And again, also because Kristen's going to be here, if it's just chickens, even better. You can actually show us. I can bring you on the show. Or if you don't want to get on video, that's perfectly fine, but still maybe ask your question. One of my things that I love about, oh, look at, you can't see my shirt. I'm very proud of this shirt. Free range, very nice. I wanted to make sure it's live. That I think is one of the best parts about this show is I feel like you're going to get the best of me when I get a question live, and I'm kind of just thinking off the cuff. And I think it makes it a little bit more entertaining versus this mundane, scripted, boring show. Anyways, so hopefully Kristen will be joining us here in a little bit. But in the meantime, if you guys have questions, please leave them down below. I'm going to start perfecting a couple things, so hopefully I don't bore you. I got to make sure the chats are coming in. The chats are definitely coming in on Facebook right now. If you're watching us on YouTube, please let me know. And actually, I'm going to double check right now to make sure it's getting streamed there. And it looks like, boy, Kristen's getting close. She just sent me a picture. I love it. I love it. She was able to get a green screen in a couple minutes. That is phenomenal. So I'm going to go over to YouTube. I just want to make sure everything is working there, that we're live. And it looks like we're live. Nice. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. So again, very, very important. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. And I'm going to skip through a couple scenes here. Another thing I wanted to do, I'm going to go to this one here. It's going to be kind of interesting. Wanted to see how this streams, because I'm actually, where I am in Okeechobee, Florida, I have no Wi-Fi here. It just doesn't exist. So I've had to stream everything through data. And Jizza, how you doing? Let me know if you have any questions. I didn't want to overload the bandwidth, I guess maybe it is, but I thought this kind of made a pretty cool backdrop. This is coming from our website, which I'm going to be able to refer to. South Africa, Craig Cook, hello from South Africa. Thanks for joining us. If you have any questions, let us know. Want to make sure this looks all right. I'm not sure if this is a good idea or not. It might be a little bit too much, but what is really nice is I can go to our website if you have any questions. and I'm definitely getting better at this, being able to go through it, have you guys see it, and be able to refer to it regarding your questions. And not even just my website. Of course, the whole idea here is to promote Carolina Coops, but definitely love when, if you guys are building your own coop, if you have any questions, we can help you out there. Either way, and we can also go to other websites and other pictures and things like that. So I just want to make sure that's looking good. I've also learned a lot about running a green screen. I've learned a lot about running a green screen. I don't know what else to say there. It's actually not complicated. I think it's awesome. I'm not sure if I look too big, too small. Let me know what you guys think. And I'm going to check in with Kristen, because I'm really hoping, we haven't done any YouTube chickens in the news, nothing like that. I heard about a crazy story yesterday from a neighbor here in the campgrounds in Florida. Something about two guys that were raising chickens, and he killed his partner. I don't know if you guys have heard that story out there. I was like, I don't know. I've never heard of it. Craig Cook says, I built my coop by watching your YouTube videos. The only issue I have is the hemp. Craig, let me know what the issue is. And if you're able to call us, I think it'd be awesome. Get our first call from South Africa. That you talk about testing the system here. I would love that. Kind of reminds me of my father, who's also watching right now. He actually used to live in Africa. Kind of a little fun fact about him. He's got some crazy stories. Fishing Matt Ryan, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Let me know if you guys have any questions. Let me know how things are going. Also, I know a couple of the last demos, the show just kind of came to a complete halt. That's because just ran out of data. Hopefully we won't today. I've switched to another data plan. It's incredible how fast they get burned up. Nan's over in the kitchen cooking right now, or doing something over there. And did he kill his partner while building the coop? I don't know. I'm going to ask Kristen when she comes on if she's heard about it. If you guys have heard about it, it's actually a very sad story that someone died, but interesting, to say the least. So, Christine just texted in from YouTube. And if you guys could, I would love, I see your name, which is awesome. Let me know where you're from. Don't have to say I'm from or whatever. Just put it in there, like in the case of South Africa, California, wherever you are. I just love to kind of give those shots out, because I want people to realize how far out we're able to reach, especially globally. I would love if we can make this call happen in South Africa. So Christine says, if not high-density polyethylene, then what is a good alternative for the coop floor? Wow. You just gave me goosebumps, because do I got the answer? Now, I got to think for a second if I should reveal it yet, because it's something we're actually thinking about switching to. Okay, a lot of them are coming in now. Thank you. Keep bringing them in. Okay, I don't want to bore you guys, but I definitely appreciate the comments. Keep coming in. So let's talk about that rice hull. And if I miss anything, I promise I will go back to it. Definitely need to do a practice run. Oh, I let it slip. Rice hull. All right, so the question is, if not high density. Now, I can tell you we love using high density. High density polyethylene, we refer to it as HDPE in short. High density polyethylene is basically a plastic, and we use it to line all the floors of our hen house and the side walls coming up 12 inches. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Here we go. What am I talking about? I got to get used to this myself. Let's go in here, and you know what? I'm going to do a little practice here. I apologize. Hopefully the audio doesn't blow you away. I'm going to shut it off because you don't need to hear the audio. I can mute it. And let's see. If I go full screen. Here's an example of a video, and I just wanted you guys to see the inside of the hen house. You're going to see this white material. Again, that's called high-density polyethylene. Right there's a great shot. There's the industrial hemp coming in. I'll never forget that day of filming. It was so bright. I tried to keep my eyes open. There was just no way. There's that beautiful industrial hemp from France. So that white plastic material, that's high-density polyethylene, very, very expensive. But the stuff is awesome. So I'm going to get out of there just so I can go back. I hear the messages coming in. So I'm going to go back to here, and you can see this kind of filming. Oh, that is awesome. Look at that. It's expensive. It is very, very expensive. And, one of the things believe it or not, I am very concerned about our environmental impact. And you're always trying to outweigh the pros and cons with everything. And when it comes to composting inside the hen house, you just can't get any better than high-density polyethylene. But as we're inventing the American coop, or perfecting the American coop, we're trying to make sure that our ultimate goal is best coop for the best price, period. And one of the ways to get the coop down for the best price is be very smart with the materials we're using. And materials, especially as of 2020, just gone through the roof. So we're always researching, and I've come across this product right here. I'm going to show you. See if we get a nice close-up shot of that. Okay? That is not wood. This is not wood, but I can tell you, as someone that doesn't like fake material that's supposed to look like something else, drives me crazy. Let me let's go back to here. Let's change up scenes here. Very proud of this coop behind me. You guys are going to see this in the next couple of weeks, coming to Wilmington, North Carolina. This is a type of new material that is new to the States that we are heavily considering using in our American coop. And it is actually the outside hull of a rice seed, if I'm saying that right. And they use it to make a material that looks like wood, acts like wood, cuts like wood, stains and paints just like wood, but has the same properties as high-density polyethylene. It's waterproof and will never rot. The beauty of this is it's cheaper than high-density polyethylene. It's not as cheap as regular wood. I can tell you it's about half the price. If you're to price out high density, this is going to come in about half the price. But we're thinking about using it in our American coop. So to go back to answer your question, here is an option that I think is going to be great if you love the properties of high-density polyethylene. Here's a great example to prove it's not wood. You can see it's engineered. Okay? There's no end grain. See if the lighting... maybe... Okay. Now, that's just new. Hopefully, I'm not going to get in trouble for disclosing that. I think we're going to really incorporate this. And I had another sample somewhere that is stained. The one thing you cannot do with this material is glue it like wood. You actually have to use certain glues like construction adhesives like super glue, gorilla glue. Wood glue will not work. And that's actually proof that it is what it is. Because this is, I guess, a lot of it is PVC, and that's what makes it waterproof. Will never rot. So, great product. Now, to take it a step down even more, and this is actually what we started to use in our American coop, and I think it's perfectly fine. If you line the bottom of your hen house, so your floor, and especially if you're going to incorporate the deep litter, you come up 12 inches, I feel it's perfectly fine to use wood. And the easiest way to explain that is think of it like the old wooden salad bowls. What rots wood is the wood-destroying organisms fed by water. Okay? If you keep the water, or the moisture in this case, from the droppings from getting into the wood, that moisture will not feed what's going to destroy the wood. The easiest way to do that is just like what we used to do with salad bowls. Oil it. Wood loves oil, and it's going to soak that oil up, and if there's no room for water to get in there, it's going to preserve it. Now, oils, especially food-safe oils, like your vegetable oil, boiled linseed oil, it's not going to last as long. So you're going to have a little bit more maintenance. But if you didn't want to get the large, expensive high density, you wanted to be a little bit more, conscious of plastics and waste and things like that. Maybe you got some wood that's laying around, you can reuse it, which is, I think, awesome. You can definitely do that. Now, always remember, no matter what, especially, let's go back to our coops here. I want to show you. Let's pick on this video a little bit. Oh, sorry about the audio. The most important thing is, it is nice to have a really high quality material lining the bottom of your hen house. But what's really going to take on the battle of moisture is what I like to refer to as the diaper. The diaper is your material that you're going to use to absorb it. So in our case, we love industrial hemp. Let's see if we can fast forward, see if we can see an example of it. Here we go. And maybe I'll pause the video right here. Let's see. Hope this is working. Again, I'm kind of showing off, practicing all at the same time, but hope visually, especially what if I make that bigger? All right, boy, am I glad I got my beard trimmer in finally. Look at all this hemp right here. That is what's going to protect whatever you're using for the material of your chicken coop. And if you are using a material that wasn't absorbing the moisture quick enough, and that moisture was getting into the material of the chicken coop, you either got the wrong material for bedding or it acts as a diaper, or more importantly, you probably got too many chickens. And I'll tell you, a lot of times when I take phone calls and questions like this and they're having problems with smells and wood rotting like the floor, you just got too many chickens. It's all about that chicken to coop ratio. So I hope I did a good job answering that in short. I hear a lot more messages coming in. I'm going to bounce back to that. I can't wait to hear if everything is working. And I'm going to, let's bounce to another screen. Video chicken. Here we go. Over. Well, actually, I get cut out. Video chicken, right? Boy, this takes practice. That's not going to be our official logo. That was just a demo logo. Just wanted to share that with you guys. I was hoping maybe we could put in under construction right now. So let me check in. I really want to get Kristen in on here. And captions are auto-generated. Cool. Nice. And the hemp video. We aren't seeing the video, Matt, the hemp video. Okay, so I got Ingrid. I guess Ingrid's watching. Ingrid, how you doing? And actually, Ingrid, if you're watching right now, I know you're like, gosh, man, can't you just give me a day off? I don't blame you. I am realizing to run this show, and I'm so grateful. I want as many comments and questions as possible. I don't want people to feel left out. I want you to know we are seeing them. I did have it so it would come up on the screen. I don't know what I did to shut that off. But let's go over. Really want to get, so you're not just listening to me. Excuse me for 1 second. Okay, so the most important thing I am seeing, we got about 30 people, so that's great. I think that's a good sign. This might be when we do the show. All right, sorry. I was just texting Kristen to send me a message in the background. She's having a little trouble with the green screen. I know she's probably very upset that she wasn't able to do what we were hoping we would do at the last minute. I know the people that know me best, one of the things they hate about me is I'm always doing things at the last minute, surprising them, and they don't like letting me down. They're not letting me down whatsoever. I am so grateful. We'll eventually get there. But either way, so let's go back to these comments. Let's see. And then hopefully, Christine, I hope that answered your question. If not, just let me know. We'll be building so we got TJ Castillo. TJ, we will be building my own coop. Have learned so much from you about building a happy, adequate shelter. Thank you. You are welcome, TJ. Craig Cook, I believe you're the one in South Africa. We don't have hemp here, and it'll cost me an arm and a leg to buy from overseas. So I think I've seen you mentioned that in a couple other comments and things like that, and I hope that someone has answered you that it will, you're buying something from overseas, it is going to cost more. I am always open to figure out a way to make it happen. Here's the thing. The hemp that we get is already coming in from overseas, and we have definitely been able to exercise our buying power, and we pass that savings along to our customer. And I'll bet you we could probably do the same thing, but it's all about bulk. And one of the things we're learning about just shipping around in the States in general is when we can ship this hemp in larger quantities to a group of people, that brings the savings down, or that brings the cost of shipping down incredibly. And again, we just pass that along to the customers. Give me 1 second. I apologize. Please don't leave me. I don't want to bore you. I'm doing this all by myself right now, but I got to answer this call. This is Kristen on the other line, hoping to bring her on. Don't leave me, guys. I'll be right back to you. Again, this is why we're calling this a demo. If you got any questions, please let me know. Not sure. She was trying to call me. Again, really want to get her on so we can practice with that. And I have a feeling she is not happy with me right now. I'm asking her to try to do this, which is no big deal. We can try it definitely later. But again, the most important part is I wanted to start the show right at noon, and I'm very happy with the amount of people we're getting. And I'm hoping, just like we did with Radio Chicken, once we pick the time, people will know in advance, can plan for it. But if you have suggestions as to a better time, please let us know. I think it's absolutely important that we pick the right time spot. Hudson Valley, New York, TJ, boy, it was cold up there. In Southern California, so I can't wait. We're going to be out in California here soon. I've been looking at PVC for Coop floor. You know, we actually have done some Coops with PVC. It's almost like a foam board. It's actually very affordable. Here's why, if this maybe helps anyone, why we chose not to use it. I didn't realize that PVC in general gets a really bad rap. Now, I'm not an expert on this, something I hope to talk about in future shows. PVC apparently it's pretty toxic when you are creating it. Not so much once you have the final material. I'm assuming it's going to be very safe because we use it a lot for, drinking water. But the actual production of PVC is pretty toxic. And again, we try to be mindful of all those things and all the materials that we choose. But it is a material that will work. It is fairly affordable, not readily available, but is definitely out there. Change the image on the green screen. Okay, that might be an old one. Change the image. I'm not sure. Okay. Well, we can go back to here. Oh, that might have been later. Adam, I follow you from, I'm just going to say Kenya. That is awesome. I surely need a Carolina, and I shall write to you separately about this. Yeah, we would love. We're actually hoping we're going to be going to Africa soon. I have some friends that, I know I'm not going to use the right words, but they have a non-profit organization there that I think is phenomenal. And I'm really hoping to be a part of it. And basically my understanding is the children there actually have to work to fund their own education. And I know us in the States, we're like, gosh, that's crazy that they have to do that. And I agree, it shouldn't be that way, but it's pretty darn cool, to be honest with you. You can imagine having to work to pay for your own education. When you have to work for anything, you just take it not for granted. Usually you don't. And I think it's incredible that the children they're growing vegetables and they're farming to sell the material, their produce or whatever it is at the time, to pay for their education. And I thought it'd be awesome to donate them a chicken coop and go out there and put it together. Okay, Ingrid, so you're on. I appreciate that. I know you're mad at me right now. Gosh, never giving you a day off. Do you guys offer any kind of financing or payment program for your coop? So this is coming from Morgan. Do you guys offer any kind of financing or payment program for your coops? I would love to have one, but can't afford it all at once. Morgan, yes, we do. And, I'm going to go to my default answer, especially back. I haven't done sales really in a long time, but when I used to do the sales, I always said, we will figure it out. We're a family-owned business that I want to earn your business. And I get it. We're not cheap, but there's no such thing as a cheap chicken coop. But I want nothing more than to provide you. I know you're going to love the coop, but you got to love the purchase. So that's one of the reasons why we always got to make sure you understand the value. And also, we have done, I guess you could call it layaway. We've done layaway. We do offer financing, and it's actually not through us. It's actually through PayPal, but it was like, maybe Non can chime in. It was like 20% interest, which is, I think, insane. I just don't think it's worth it. maybe one day we will start offering our own in-house financing, but we're just not there yet. There's a lot to learn there, especially from legalities. But what I can tell you is we will do and have work with customers in order to be able to get a chicken coop to you based on your current circumstances. Good on Facebook too. So we got Paul. We'll stay and catch the couple of minutes I lost switching. Not understanding there. Christine, to answer your question, great. Thomas, thanks, Matt. You are the man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Was looking at your coops and am highly interested in the Cali. Are the wait times still 22, 24 weeks? One of the things I was going to address, and I really need to make an official video, and maybe I can do it now, especially that I'm gonna speak from the heart and off the cuff. Our lead time is, if you were to order a coop from us today, right now, we are looking, I believe the last I checked, July to August. That is so far out. I'm glad to be busy, but I don't like disappointing people. I don't like that I'm losing a potential sale. So here we are. It's end of January. I can't do the math that well in my head, so that might still be 22, 24 weeks. What I can tell you is that we do have a far out lead time. And for our current customers that are still waiting, I can't thank you guys enough for your patience. If you could see behind the scenes what is going on to get these coops out the door as fast as possible, we will never jeopardize quality for quantity. And I'm not going to blame 2020 on some of the issues we've had. It was just a screwed up year for everyone, especially with materials between COVID, plants shutting down. We buy a lot of lumber, so when the forests are on fire out west, it was crazy. It was crazy, and I don't care. I was not going to use that as an excuse, but that did cause some problems. Things are getting ramped back up to speed. And what I can also tell you, hopefully within about a little over 30 days, I'm going to have some amazing news that is just a major check off my list, a goal that I hope we get to accomplish. And what that means is we're going to be able to produce the production coops, starting with the American, and depending on how it goes, we'll probably definitely roll into the Cali. Either way, we're going to be mass producing our production coops so fast that there should be no lead time. That is our goal, and that could be happening very soon. We will know more, that it's going to be certain, hopefully within a month, and then we just got to work out all the logistics and things like that. But my goal is to shrink that by having 2 places in operation, where we're going to have one custom shop going separated from a production shop. All right, so not seeing the video. All right, so okay, this is good. No video note. You are not sharing the right screen. Okay. I got some catching up to do. Boy, I've been sounding like an idiot. Do you recommend painting the pieces first and put it all together, or should I put it together first then paint it? All right, well, let's do this. So I know what it was. You're right. I was not sharing, so I got to go to this screen. Here we go. Now, I'm going to scroll to the bottom. I apologize skipping everyone's comments. Oh, geez, I got to get back up there to them. Let me know. You guys should see this. If I'm seeing it, you're seeing it. I didn't catch that earlier. And then what happens is I got to go over to the screen. Okay, good. Now you should be seeing the video if we were to play that. So the last question was, should we paint it before we put it together? Great question. And I believe that was from Fishin' Matt Ryan. If I remember correctly, if I'm wrong, I apologize. And if I remember correctly too, it's an American coop. And I love that we have these drawings right here. So here you're looking at an American coop drawing. Here's our standard package. And what I can tell you is everywhere where you see that's beige or tan, that will come to you as non-painted lumber. You know, you're going to get all these panels sent to you. The green down here is just to show it's pressure-treated lumber. And then the lighter green here is just to show that's the plywood. That will not come to you green. Don't want to confuse you. But just wanted to be able to show it in a picture. That's the separation. Now, to answer your question, yes, it is so much easier to paint all this, in my opinion, when it's all separated. And that is because you can be very creative in how maybe you're setting it up, especially if you're painting indoors. You don't want to worry about the rain. What I can tell you is back in the old days when we were building these coops for the first time, we used to frame it all out and then paint it with a sprayer before we put the screen on. That, to me, was definitely the easiest way to do it. So if you are spraying it and you are buying an American Coop kit, that is an option to just put it all together and not have the screen on yet. But here's a major but. I don't want to confuse people. Part of the construction is the screen right here. In order to put this front henhouse wall on, that screen does have to get sandwiched. So that could screw some things up, but you can get creative. But if you're painting it by hand, it doesn't matter. I just always found that, me personally, that's the easiest way to do it, especially back in the day. But since they come to you in panels, I think a lot of customers, and this is how we do it now, we just hang them all in our paint booth, and we just go to town and spray them. So hopefully that answers that question. Oh, especially the purlins. Oh my gosh, yes. Now I'm thinking about this. The purlins, you know, up in here, the rafters, the trusses, you know, your arm's going to get real tired painting overhead the whole time. You can lay all these purlins out, all the trusses. Oh gosh, yeah. Now I think about it. Just keep this in mind. Please keep this in mind. Little fun fact. Every layer of paint, every coat is equal to a thickness of a piece of paper. Now I know that doesn't sound like much, but if you've ever put one of our Coops together, you will not believe how precise everything is, and that is intentional because as you assemble our, in this case, the American Coop, if it's not true, it's like trying to put a puzzle together, and if the pieces don't lock together right, the whole thing's going to be off. It's the same thing with our chicken coop. But once you start painting it, we take in we take that into account if you are going to paint it to make sure it's not so tight that you can't get the pieces in. But I have seen it, and we have done it, where we've painted 3 or 4 coats, especially if it's a dark color, which can be a nightmare. That, say, you know, you got 2 sides that you're trying to bring together and you paint it 4 times, that's 8 sheets of paper. That, believe it or not, our tolerances are so tight, so accurate, that will actually potentially screw you up. So hopefully you guys see this. I hope it's working. I'm going to bounce back. I can't believe we're already half an hour into the show. And so how are we doing, guys? All right, let me go back up. I've also learned to not get in the habit of, let's see, where did I leave off? Oh, these are all great questions, especially the chicken questions. I might attempt, if you guys don't mind, if you're not doing anything right now, 42. I think that's a record viewers right now in the video chicken. Hello, 42. If you, that means you're just maybe joining us. This is a demo. This is not the official, but I'm trying to treat it like it's the official video chicken show. Something we're going to do hopefully on a weekly basis. One of the things I want to do today is my co-host Kristen, who is our chicken expert, she got a green screen, and that's what I have back here so that it looks hopefully really cool and makes it look like I know what I'm doing. I'm trying to get her on and just test run. The last time we did it, a test run, we were having little audio problems. We tested her audio this morning. She sounded perfect. So hopefully we can get maybe her on a little bit. And I don't know. We'll see what happens, especially with the chicken questions. So let's see. Oh gosh, there's so many. Oh boy. There's gonna be so much here. I don't know if we're gonna have enough time. All right, I'm just gonna start somewhere. All right, so here's my dad. Phone number to call. There's no phone number to call. If anybody wants to come on, I would love to do that, but we have done that demo, and it is good to practice. But if anyone wants to come on and ask a question, especially if you want to show me something, if you're using your phone, that's perfectly fine. If you want to go out to your chicken coop, show us something, that I would love to do that. We have had a couple volunteers do that, not guinea pigs. I was told not to use that word anymore. Volunteers, and it worked perfectly, especially if we can get a call from South Africa. Oh my gosh, if you're still listening. So real quick, I'm just going to go down the list. Dave Larson, I used 3/4 plywood and glued FRP panel on top. Yeah. The very first stuff we used to use is FRP. Fiber reinforced plastic. Not fire resistant plastic. A lot of people get that confused. It's fiber reinforced plastic. I would have to be, if you're building your own coop, that's probably the best, most affordable option. It is readily available. You can find it at most lumber hardware stores like Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever. The only reason why we stopped doing it is because we were using so much of it, and the way we were cutting it, we were breathing in that fiberglass, and we're just like, no, not going to keep doing it. You know, and I remember too around that time looking into using things like a spray-on bed liner. It didn't work for what we were trying to accomplish by sending these coops out in panels. But that's another thing to think about. But yeah, FRP, great material. You got smooth, marbled, or pebbled, whatever you want to call it. Farmer Brad, you make automatic chicken waterers. I'm not sure if someone's been trying to get a hold of us and asking us to try out one of their waterers. So I'm not sure if that's you. I apologize. I don't know if anyone's gotten back to you yet or not. Uganda, Africa. What's going on with Africa today? I don't think I've ever had so many people watching us in Africa. How can I partner to have that technology of coops here? Just give us a call. I'm not sure what you want to partner on, but you can always give us a call. So far, have you come across a heated chicken waterer that during the summertime can hook up to a garden hose to refill automatically? Yeah, us. We make them, we sell them. People love them. I haven't seen a winter summer water that is a competitor to one of my products. I'm going to keep on going down. We'll just remark pieces accordingly to the final. Oh, yeah. So one of the downsides, if you do paint, all your parts will come marked. Don't lose those markings. But what's really nice is in our manual, it's so visual that you can identify the piece. If that does happen, of course, you can always give us a call. Barry, how do you anchor your coop to the ground? My foundation is 6x8 pressure-treated posts. I was thinking auger anchors. When we do anchor our coops to the ground, God, I mean, every situation is different. The most extreme situation to auger them down, that can be the most complicated, in my opinion, because there's so many ways to do it, but the most extreme complicated ways of doing it I see, especially here in Florida. It's so sandy, and let's say you pour a concrete base, that's a great way to do it. But if you're not going to pour a concrete base and you're using pressure-treated timbers, we would drive large posts, like rebar, down through the post into the ground. But even with the sand, that can let go. So the perfect situation is they have them for, I think they call them hurricane stakes. And I've seen them used a lot for sheds, that when you get this shed to follow code, you got to anchor them down. And they're about, well, the ones we use are about 3-4 foot long. And there's a video somewhere in the way back. We're going 4 years ago. I actually did it live where I had to make a makeshift tool to drive them down to the ground, but it was like a round auger spade. What happens is it kind of augers down into the ground, which is really nice because when it goes to get pulled up, it won't slip. So you have to do some research on that. That's the extreme, but there are definitely other ways to anchor things down. Do you vaccinate your chicks when they come from the hatchery? Coccidosis vaccination or vaccinate for Marek's disease? Well, I don't ever do it personally myself, but I think maybe what you're asking is, if I was to order baby chicks for myself, do I get them vaccinated? Well, bantams, no, because if I understand correctly, they can't be vaccinated because their necks are so small, the needle will go through their neck. But with standard to large breed hens, I want to say I do, just to play it safe, and I don't want to get into the whole argument of, especially now with vaccines, no vaccines. I do have my opinion, and I hope people aren't going to hate me, but I believe in... we don't give our bodies enough credit. Gosh, I think sometimes we cause more problems, but God, I'm not going to get into it all. So I'm not a huge fan of vaccinating, but I am a fan of giving people the option and figuring out, hopefully, the pros and cons you're learning, pros and cons that you are discovering about vaccination do work for you. I do know that Marek's can turn into a major problem, so I think it is good to try to prevent that. And coccidosis is so common, and I don't know about oh, look at here. Oh, hot lemon water. Mike, you want to say hi?
Okay.
So here we are in Florida. Mike, what's up? Oh, I like your shirt, bud.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice. This is my son, Mike. Come here. Don't be too shy. This is my son, Mikey. What do you think of the green screen? Are you watching us in there?
Kind of.
Yeah, are you going to take over the business one day?
No.
Yeah, but you're going to design chicken coops because you're an amazing engineer.
Kind of.
Do me a favor. Find that green sheet. I want to show people. It's kind of funny what he was doing the other day when we were doing a test run. So.
Okay, wait. Okay, just watch this. He's gone.
He gone. And all that is a piece of green paper. I love it.
He's gone again.
He's gone. It's just that simple. All right. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for my hot lemon water. Apparently, I've been drinking so much coffee that I have to cut back on my caffeine. I'm sure you can't tell. So, to answer your question, I mean, when the hatcheries offer it, I just say yes. You know, I don't know enough if it's really causing more harm than good. I think we got bigger things to worry about. But it is not fun raising baby. You know, you're waiting all year for the hatcheries to ramp up production because it's springtime. That's time for reproduction, and then you get your baby chicks in, and you got to wait 20 weeks for them to reach to the point of sexual maturity to lay the eggs. A disease that can be easily prevented from vaccines, whether or not that to us or not through eating their eggs or maybe the meat. I don't know. I'm not an expert on it. Hopefully one day we will talk about that because I think it's a very important subject. People here construct awful coops and not impressive as the ones I have followed you making. Thank you, John. Please stand by, people. All right, so I am catching up. I'm not sure what's going on. I hope I didn't run out of data, and I'm just spinning my wheels. Looks like we're still live. Clock is still ticking. 38, 39 people, so we're holding right around 40 viewers. I appreciate that. And if for whatever reason you're just joining us, I am broadcasting live from Okeechobee, Florida. It is 12:42 on Sunday, so if you are watching this and it's not that time, it is a recorded version. But still, please leave your questions or comments down below. We will still get to them. Oh, there are so many. Guys, I can't thank you so much for. I'm gonna skip through some. For coops that are not painted, what do you use to seal the wood? What we used isn't working, and see the wood is molding. Okay. I'm so sad. It looks so beautiful. Going to wait until spring and pressure wash it, and we'll try something different. Okay. I'm glad I stopped on that because that is a very difficult subject to, in my opinion, kind of understand for me. And I'm not a mold expert, but I have definitely learned a lot. And the whole idea with mold, fungus, I mean, it's a pest, and the whole idea is to prevent it. And you have to research what molds feed on. And just like every other pest, if you get rid of their food source and why they're there, you can prevent it. Now, I get it. Molds are a lot more difficult than, saying, trying to prevent rodents and things like that. What I have seen is, doing coops all around the country, there have been times I'll have two customers, same exact chicken coop in two different parts of the country, and one will have a lot more mold than the other. And I got to believe that's environmental. So I think just like predators or pests, certain people have different pressures. There might be more mold spores for whatever reason in that area. That should make sense. So that should determine the level of preparation you got to do to prevent it. So first things first, I would always lean towards, if you can identify the mold, I think that's going to be extremely helpful. And then just learn about it. You can go online, and once you identify that species of mold, what it might be feeding on, I think you might realize, oh, that makes sense. It might be something that just happens to contribute or benefit from a local tree next to it, But the whole idea is, they also have to have a right temperature. They do love certain moistures, and we want to prevent the moisture. And there are paints. We love Sherwin-Williams. I know there's a lot of paints out there that have, I guess you could say it's a fungicide, which I think also helps with molds to prevent it. So if you use something and it's not working, first thing I would do is try to identify it. I know that sounds crazy, like, well, man, how do I identify this mold? A little hack, a little trick. Okay, real quick, and I only know this because I was an exterminator, especially when I was a salesman, and I used to tell people this. And it's so true. Identify whatever it is you're dealing with. You can get at least 3 people to come out for free to identify it for you. Maybe play dumb a little bit. Yeah, you're going to be taking advantage of them. Or you may learn so much, you'll be like, yeah, that makes sense. Have someone come out that's an expert and just say, hey, can you do anything to help me here? And if you gain anything from it, try to gain and ask them, what is the species? Please tell me exactly what type of mold this is. There's all kinds of different molds. And then take it from there and learn about it. All right. Gonna go through this. Going back to PayPal. PayPal offers 6 months, no payments or interest to start. Definitely into August at this point. I'm going to try to go through this. I apologize. I hear them coming in, and can't thank you guys enough for taking the time. That's great. Thank you. I may need 2020 to convince my wife. Hey, we've done that. We've helped people out to convince the partners, if you will. Especially the ones, it's so funny. There have been times I've gone and done a site survey, and it's usually one person out of the marriage that wants chickens and chicken coop, and the other person doesn't. And that other person that doesn't, it's usually the husband, but whatever, doesn't even want, he's so mad that we're even there. And I had one time he didn't even shake my hand. He was so upset that we're there. And what's crazy is I've learned the people that are against it the most in the beginning, once you get your chicken coop and you get your chickens, we've gone back and done follow-ups, and it's those people that are obsessed with their chickens. And they're in love with them. So don't let, if you got a partner that's like, no, we're not doing this. 9 times out of 10, they don't understand. It's not difficult. It's so easy. It's all about having the right chicken coop. They will fall in love with it. All right. I got JG. My water pump froze on my rain collector. Do you think I can thaw it out anyway? Will it still work? Now, I'm going to assume maybe you're referring to ours. And let me go to that, because we might as well talk about that a little bit. So I'm going to go to our website. Looks like you guys are seeing this. And I got a screen kind of in the way. So let's see what I can do here. I got to move that. Let me click on this. So here is, well, that's of course called a non-heated. 50-50 chance I click on the one that's wrong. Always. Let me try this again, guys. I just want to show you the heated water system that we sell. I love it. I'm very proud of it. And let me try one more time. Hopefully I clicked on the heated system. It looks like this is it. All right. So here's the pump, right? Can I click on this, Ingrid? Okay, can I zoom? We're going to zoom. Okay. I'm not sure if you can see my cursor. Here's the pump right there. So that's what we're talking about if we're referring to our heated water system. First things first. This system that I've created, gosh, maybe 4 years ago now, if there's one thing I've learned is everything has to be set up perfect or it will fail. But as long as everything's set up perfectly, the thing is amazing. It is good down to negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit with a full rain barrel. And this is a 50-gallon rain barrel. Okay, we got the heater right there. It's a 1,000-watt self-regulating heater. So to answer your question, if your pump froze, the first thing I would want to ask is why, because it shouldn't have. And it could have been a number of reasons. Most common reason is they got it set up wrong. I've seen a lot of people, they plug the self-regulating heater into the heated. That is a no-no. This just plugs right into the outlet. The pump with this plug right here gets pumped into your heated. Recently, a customer, and I've made this mistake, they had their heated, which all it is a thermostatic switch. They had it inside the hen house that they're heating. Well, it doesn't know how cold it is outside. So it's just something that simple. And again, I've done it. I'm not trying to pick on you or anything like that, but just simple things to think about. The other one is you definitely want on your discharge end, the return end to go back into your barrel, to be elevated so the air gets out. That's also another thing I see that turns into a problem of why the pump would freeze. And of course, there's the old-fashioned one. You didn't realize you didn't have power. That's happened a handful of times. People are like, oh yeah, I got power. I'm like, please go check. Nope, there's no power. So to answer your question, if it froze, I have found 90% of the time the pump is shot. And that's only because there was power, something else was wrong, it kept trying to work, and there was no bringing it back. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't try it. So you thaw it out, make sure it doesn't leak, put it back together, but definitely try to figure out why it would have froze. In your YouTube chicken collection, is there any that show your winter storm shields? There is in our YouTube channel. There's some videos, and it is on our website. And they're just giant sheets of polycarbonate, 400 times stronger than glass. We cut them out all on our CNC machine. Awesome, awesome stuff. And it does a great job at blocking the wind chill. And maybe when we get through these questions, I'll get into that because I know it is very, very cold, especially up north. And I definitely would love to talk about the do's and don'ts when it comes to heating or not heating your chicken coop. All right, just scrolling through. Black Sharpie will show through. That is true. That is true. I'm glad you mentioned that, Mike Trapp. So, because of that, they should be, and we learned this the hard way years ago, we know where the number should be hidden. So, they should be writing the part number on the part, and we use a Sharpie because it's quick and easy, where we know it's going to be hidden so it doesn't bleed through. But yes, you are exactly correct. All right. I think I'm starting to get towards the end. You can see a pic of my coop on the Facebook page. Find it. Can you tell us more about your duck coops? Are you able to post any pictures of any finished installed duck coops? Thoughts on water in the run substrate for ducks? Thanks, CJ. Yeah, give me a second. I'll probably get back to that. For my circulation water heated, I've got the 1.5 inch pipe to increase the water flow. That's what we use, 1.5 inch. I use 1,000 gallon per hour and IBC tote heated water elements. Okay. If you need pictures or replacement pump, you can do that from our website. Okay, so I think I got through that all. And I wanted to try one more time to establish if we can get our chicken expert on. Not sure. I'm not sure if I can convince her. I would love to do it. If not, it just means we get to do another demo show. But again, I did last minute put her on the spot, thought we would try it. But here's the most important thing. I just wanted to know if we do the show at noon every Sunday, is that the best time? Please let me know. And, just leave comments down below, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, yay, nay. And also let me know too, there's a couple other platforms, places that stream videos that we could also stream this video to. A popular one, I guess, is called Twitch. I've never heard of that. And might think about that. So, real quick before we start talking about the duck house, and I do want to show you guys something that's kind of interesting. Fishing Matt Ryan, I have 3 dogs. Is there any way to get them to be friendly to the hens? Yes. And it just so happens to be, I tell you, this is one of the reasons why I love traveling. The people I get to meet that I would have never met if I didn't travel, I'm so glad I got to meet them. One of them is a gentleman that is served in the military as a canine trainer. And now he has his own canine training business. I ran into him a couple times actually crossing paths down here in Florida. He's been hanging out with his family doing the same thing we are doing. And I asked him that exact question. And one of my goals is I want to do a video with him. He has his own YouTube channel. I believe it's called K9 Tactical. I guess I'd give him a little plug. And he definitely deserves it. I picked his brain, and it makes sense what he's saying. But to get into all that right now probably wouldn't be the best thing to do. But I do want to do a video soon letting people know, especially if you're on the fence thinking about getting chickens. I have had a lot of people say, I don't stand a chance. I can't get chickens because I got these dogs. You can train them, one, not to attack your chickens, but even more so protect them. But what you have to remember is it's what triggers the dog to go into attack mode. Now, I get it. There's going to be certain breeds. That's what we bred them for, to be bird dogs. The trigger is them running, not just standing there. It's that excitement. And what you want to do is train the dog to heel with that trigger, and then obviously reward them. So it's easier said than done. Definitely getting the dogs used to if you get baby chicks, get them used to that. Training them since they're puppies, obviously even easier. But focus on that trigger of them running. That's what triggers their brain to go chase and attack. All right, so let's go to the duck. Coop because this gives me a chance to also practice. Actually, I can stay right on this screen. And maybe I don't have it open. All right, I'm going to go to show you examples of duck houses we have done. So if you go to carolinacoops.com and let's see, under chicken coops, I'm assuming that wouldn't make sense. Why would duck coops be under chicken coops? But it just makes sense. Ingrid's like, I see her right now. So, oh God, don't make me do more. So we click on American duck coop, and here's a great example of the. Oh, you know what? Am I zoomed in too much? Are you guys not able to see? It just occurred to me. You may not be able to see the whole screen. No, you cannot. I'm zoomed in too much. So I'm going to ruin my shot a little bit. What if I zoom out? No, not that one. Hold on a minute. I zoom out. That's not bad, right? Okay, I was zoomed in a little too much. I apologize. Let's go back to that. So when it comes to duck housing, what I've learned is all they want is something very similar to like a dog house. And here's an example of the American Coop duck house. And I think the specific question was about the watering system. So if you have any questions, want to see it, just go to carolinacoops.com. I definitely have videos. Now, there are two things we have done with the watering system. And I'm going to bring that up. And actually a coop we just sold recently that I think Evan did an amazing job on. So I'm going to get out of here. And let's go to this screen. Let's go to this shot. Video chicken. While I bring that up, because I got to bring up the application, and I'm going to show you what I think is going to be an amazing. I can see this be a repeat build over and over and over. One of the downsides about a new year is, gosh, all these software subscriptions, they renew and don't work, and I even think they. Oh my gosh, I might have even lost my SketchUp. I might not be able to show you, and I really want to show you guys because what we hopefully will be doing with this one particular duck house / turkey house is incredible because there are things to be very aware of when it comes to the water. All right, I'm going to try click. Yeah, it's not going to work. What happened to my 2020? Crap. I'll have to get back to that. I apologize. I do love what we've done with our duck dipper. And also going to be incorporating a duck pond inside the duck run. And it's going to be buried into the ground. So it's like an in-ground swimming pool. And one of the biggest reasons for that is most people also have chickens. And I don't want the chickens hanging out and roosting or perching on the rim of that duck pond or like say a kiddie pool and defecating it and making it dirty. But we're going to treat it like it's a giant bathtub and it has a drain. And as long as your grade is going to work in your favor to do this, you just cut a hole, put a strainer in there, and plumb it to go downhill, and have a ball valve somewhere. So you close that ball valve, fill it up with water, let your ducks have a good old time. When it's time to clean it, open up that ball valve, let the water drain out, hose it out if you want, close that ball valve, and fill it back up. Now, if you're thinking about getting ducks, or you already have ducks, maybe just acknowledge that I'm not crazy. They are dirty creatures. You got to really do some soul searching of what your sanitation level is. I've had some customers that they love their coop, they love their duck house, their duck dipper, but they're shocked at how dirty that water gets. Even with the duck dipper, we have a cage in front of it so they can only get their heads wet. They'll take their food and they'll dunk it under the water. They make a mess, but I think it's worth it. Duck eggs are so good. They can be a very easy pet. Just like chickens, as long as you have the right setup. Randy Dake, Matt, I have a question. I live in Southern California, I have 9 chickens, and with the cool weather that we've been having and with the wind we've been having, they have stopped laying eggs for about a week and a half. Is that normal? Oh yeah, this time of year, when daylight shortens, my understanding is what happens, this is also when they should be molting. And instead of using up a lot of the nutrients that they would to produce that egg, that helps them to molt their feathers. And if they're over a year old, and they're going into their second winter, that is typically when egg production will go down. And as they get older, that also egg production goes down. So it is very, very normal. I would suspect that maybe your chickens are over a year old, and come springtime, once that daylight starts to increase, you'll start getting eggs again. Now, there is a trick. I'm not a big fan of it, again, because I think nature has figured things out long before us. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But there are people that will tell you, just go ahead and put a light in there so it comes on early in the morning, stays on at night, making them think there's still 14, 16 hours of daylight. They'll continue egg laying. You can do that. The problem is, one, especially if they're molting, it could be a little bit more stressful on them. But also, you might, how can I say this? I don't want to say burn up the amount of eggs that they're going to produce, because they're born with how many eggs they're going to produce in a lifetime, but you might go through that a little bit quicker. So hopefully that makes sense. Andrea, hi Matt, I live in Massachusetts and looking to buy a coop that will be ready for chicks in mid-June. Do you still have a 23 to 25 week lead time? Andrea, yes, we do currently. What I can tell you is, hopefully, I don't want to spill the beans too much, but hopefully we will be solving that problem, separating into two buildings. One's going to be all custom, one's going to be all mass production, and by making this investment, we're going to be able to produce these coops so fast without jeopardizing quality, without really changing anything. We're not going to change the material, nothing. What we are going to change is how fast we get it done and efficient, which I'm going to be able to, one, pass that savings along to you, but more importantly, my goal is you don't got to wait. I want to be able to make it so that you call, make an order, ships today. I want to walk into the offices and hear the salespeople saying, ships today. We almost did it. We did it for a couple weeks last winter, but COVID hit. Fear drives a business like mine. I'm very happy to be so busy, but I'm not happy about our lead time. But we will never jeopardize quality for quantity. And my guys, my whole team, they're pumping through, getting these coops out as fast as they can. They are coming to you. But the lead time I would say there's a 99.9% chance it's going to shorten drastically very soon. But if it doesn't, don't hold my feet to the fire. But it's going to happen one way or another. I just hope it's going to happen very soon. Go back to Randy, 7 months old. They should lay. They should continue to lay through the winter. Gosh, I wish our chicken expert was here because she could answer all these things. Yeah, she's not doing it. She's not. I think she's busy with other things right now. So unfortunately, when we get the full-on show going, we'll be able to have the chicken expert here. Weeping Willow, I just did cost prohibited for my work disability income, but again, thanks for the info. I missed what that's for. So guys, I'm coming up to an hour. Oh, it's actually already been an hour. Oh my gosh, I kind of felt like I'm just getting started and it's already an hour. So I'm going to cut it short. Well, and actually, I shouldn't say that either, because our goal is to do a 1 hour show. We talked about doing 2 hours, 90 minutes, 1 hour. It's so easy to have an hour go by. And that, I love the Q&A. And I hope that you guys do as well. But I can't emphasize it enough. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments, you're not going to hurt my feelings. Tell us, no matter what it is, whether it's Carolina Coops, the business, but definitely focusing on this show. This is a way for marketing. I want people to be aware of carolinacoops.com. I want you to buy chicken coops from us, but I also love through our YouTube channel, and I say it all the time, if you're not going to buy a coop from us and you're going to build your own, learn from us. One thing that has happened, to be honest with you, is we do get a lot of phone calls with people just calling in and asking, hey, literally asking like, hey, what size rafters are they? What's the notching in between? That's not what I meant by that. There is going to come a day I'm going to sell the plans for sure. We're just not there yet. You wouldn't call, if you're building a car, would you call Ford and ask them, what size? Well, I don't know. I can't think of a good analogy, but you get my point, I'm sure. Trying to avoid that, but I have no problem dedicating the time to answer those questions now. Especially maybe even having a combined where we can let people know we're going to have maybe middle of the week a sales class where we're going to go over a particular subject, like just the American Coop, to help answer all the questions, and so you're not waiting for a call back. So hopefully that made sense. And there is one more thing I did want to do that I haven't done yet. Fish and Matt Ryan, I love what you're saying. And actually, Ingrid has a lady that wants to come on, and we definitely need to do it. So Ingrid, if you're still there listening, please let's get this set up. And there's a couple videos out there that I also would love to. Marky Mark, what's up, buddy? What's going on, buddy? I hope all is well. Oh God, squirrel. God, what the hell was I saying? Oh, I know that I tell people this all the time. You will be surprised if you're going to go build your own coop, and especially if you're going to copy ours. You're not going to save money. I know the price, especially on the AmeriCoop, seems expensive. When you start adding up the cost of materials, and if you're going to factor in your time, you will end up losing money. And I don't say that to sell you coops. I say it because I just want you to be informed. And yeah, my goal is to sell you the coop. I'm going to save you money. We will save you money, believe it or not, if you're thinking about building your own coop. Now, if you got materials to recycle, go for it. That's how I started my business. I had no choice. I was pulling materials out of a dumpster to start building coops. You do what you got to do. But there are videos out there where people have given us the credit, which I can't thank them enough. I want to bring them on the show, give them a personal thank you, saying, boy, Matt was right. Now, after building this coop, it was so expensive. So going back to Fishing Matt Ryan, where'd you go? You're up here. I know the coops seem expensive. However, if you try to price out the cost of the materials yourself at any orange store, you'll see that the Carolina Coops prices are great. Thank you. There you go, guys. I mean, that is true. And we have worked so hard to make that statement true. I'm going to show you. I got goosebumps, okay? It brings back to 12 years of hell we have gone through that I know the American dream is still possible. It's why we call it the American Coop. We will perfect that. And the price is going to come down even more, believe it or not. Meanwhile, prices, especially for lumber, are through the roof. High density, polycarbonate, hardware, screws, all that. But because we've grown as a business and gotten smarter, I'm using that to our advantage so that we're going to be able to keep the coop at the same price and or even less coming soon. But Fishing Matt Ryan, can't thank you enough for mentioning that. And here's the other thing too. You can go buy a 2x4, but a 2x4 is not a 2x4. Just another example. We're using all Doug fir. You don't want to use, and in my opinion, you don't want to use any other dimensional lumber. You can maybe cheat a little bit with Southern Yellow Pine, but you can go into a lot of these, the orange stores, blue stores. They have white fir in there, hem fir. Don't do it. You're wasting your time and money. It's just way too soft. It's not rot resistant like Doug fir is. Doug fir is a very expensive material, and we're hand picking every single 2x4. Doesn't matter what coop is getting built. It all comes out of the same bundle. So the DNA is the same, no matter if it's a custom coop or a Cali coop. So important. And again, I just grabbed this material. I think we're going to go with this. I don't want to scare people. I know once we say, hey, no, there's no longer high density polyethylene in the American production coop, here's what we've gone with. There might be some pushback, and I usually give in. I don't want to this time. I know for a fact that this material will perform just as well as high density, but it's going to allow you to save money, and we're going to be more environmental friendly, which I think is good. So, with all that said, I keep hearing them come in, and I did want to do a test. I'm just gonna fire it off right now, and wait a minute. I think it's muted. Oh, no, it's the wrong screen. Hold on a minute. Here we go. I want to make sure you guys can hear this. There it is. We have so much catching up to do with YouTube Chicken Police. It is unreal. I am so happy that 99.99% of the comments are positive. I still don't understand. I want to bring people on. If you're going to give me a thumbs down, fine. Okay, no worries. Did you hurt my feelings? Yeah, you did. But that's fine. I want to bring them on and talk and ask them what was the reason. Some people I think are just bored, just want to be negative. But the other 99.9% of positive people out there giving us a thumbs up. Thank you so much. Yes, t-shirts. They are coming. I promise. They are coming. What is the new material replacing the high density? Boat Works Today. So I did mention this earlier in the video, but I'll mention it one more time, and I promise I am going to get off here. Let's see how are we doing on numbers. Let's go back. Let's just use this screen. Let's pretend it's Chicken Police time. That is a killer logo. I even thought about getting chicken glasses, or I'm sorry, police glasses on or building a cage for me to be in. Not sure which side I'm on yet. This material here that I just showed is a material we're thinking about in the production coops, switching out our high-density polyethylene to a material that's made out of rice hull. So it's a natural product, but it is waterproof, rot-proof. It will not rot. It acts just like high-density will. It acts just like plastic, but 50% of it is made from a byproduct, a waste product. So I think that's awesome. It is cheaper than high density, so I'm thinking, why not incorporate this into the production coops? But I know people are going to be like, oh, no, you just made it. It's not as good. That's not true. I will never backpedal. Trust me. People that know me, backpedaling, no, I don't. I might sidestep, and that's fine. This way, I think it's like a sidestep and a step forward. We're going to be greener, cheaper, less expensive of material. We're going to pass that savings on to you. But this is just a phenomenal engineered product that cuts like wood, looks like wood. Not sure if you guys can see that. All right. Actually, let's go to this screen here. Maybe this will be helpful. Yeah, there we go. And now I've been using it as a coaster. But look at it. It reminds me of MDF, medium density fiberboard, but trust me, it's not. But it's a lot like it. You can see it is engineered. There is no end grain. So there's a lot of advantages I see there, but it is waterproof. The only thing you cannot do is use wood glue. You got to use special regular construction adhesives instead of wood glue. But it will stain, paint, cut, work just like regular wood. So, Weeping Willow, I give you my eye teeth for Carolina Coop. Barry, I had my first car wreck in Owensboro. I miss Moonlight Barbecue. I might be missing some side comments. Not really sure. Tina, I trust in your expertise and know you are always working to improve Carolina Coops, and I think that's amazing. You know what? Thank you. And a lot of people say that. I do see those comments a lot, and it means the world to me because, and I never get to acknowledge that. But I'll be honest with you guys. When we're in the trenches, I remember these things, and I'm glad that there are still those 99.9% of people that understand what we're doing, watch us since the beginning, where we come from, and yes, I love perfecting a product, and I always will. You don't ever want to get stagnant. We will always perfect the product, and I got to stay ahead of everyone else. It's just that simple. I got to be smarter than anybody else that is building coops out there, not just in the materials and the construction, but also what makes your chicken's life perfect and your life. So can you repeat the name of that wood? There's not a name for it other than it's rice hull, and it's brand new to the States. And you could probably Google it and read about it. I almost feel, and this is why I have samples. I said send me samples. It's too good to be true. I'm about to soak this in water, make sure it passed that test, and then we're gonna boil it in water. I'm gonna put this stuff to the test and make sure it is what they say it is. But so far, from what I've been reading and playing with it, it is that. And here's the other thing too. What it does is it eliminates a material. If we use this in the production coops, we get to use this for the siding and part of the deep litter and eliminate a whole piece of material altogether. So, anyways, all right, guys, I got to go. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for hanging out early Sunday afternoon. Be on the watch out. And if you're not already, I'm assuming if you're watching us, you're already a subscriber or a follower. If not, please do that. And then also share this video. If you got friends out there, it is critical that I want to just get the word out there because this is really, it's a lot of work, but I'm happy to do that, to share everything that we're doing with you guys and hopefully make it as entertaining and worth your time when you guys are watching. So with that said, I'll let you guys be. Have a great Sunday. I'll see you soon.